Boys, we back. We are back. We are back. I'm so back. John Connor MMA has returned. It's like the McGregor return, but better. I'm not going to tear my ACL for no reason. We're back. What can I say? Been gone a lot. Sorry. I know you guys have missed me. I've been to the beach. I've been to DC. I've been to Canada. Been to summer camp for 2 weeks. Broke my hand. John Connor MMA had to become John Connor MMA. But this weekend, huge fight card, huge main event, I should say. I don't want to say a huge fight card, huge main event. Fight card is kind of lackluster. Only two ranked fights, the main and the co-main, which is a little disappointing. But the fights are going to be good. They're just not going to have a lot of implications because they're so low level. But we're going to get right into it straight away, all the way at the prelim opener of Jeremiah Wells versus Miktabek Oralbai. Jeremiah Wells, he's pretty good. He's all right. I mean, he's very strong. He's very strong. Most recently fought Temba Garimbo, I believe. Beat Temba Garimbo by kind of a lackluster decision. But Miktabek Oralbai, I don't know why he's the main or the prelim opener because he is on a pretty big win streak. I think he should be fighting a ranked opponent personally because he beat Chris Curtis, Jack Hermanson, Uros Medic, who just won in a main event, Elvis Brenner, Tafik Musayev, who's probably going to get a ranked opponent if he wins his next fight. He's beat probably some other people that I'm not thinking of. But Miktabek Oralbai, he's very good. Also very strong, very good striking, very powerful, very good submission game. Very, very good. I think it's a pretty simple fight. I think Miktabek Oralbai is going to dominate Jeremiah Wells to either a decision or I don't think he needs to finish to win. I think he needs to finish to show that he is good as he says he is and as good as people think. So I'm going to go with Miktabek Oralbai by late round 1, early round 2 submission. I think Miktabek Oralbai, he's gonna get under the neck of Jeremiah Wells, or get a like a Kimura or something like that, or maybe a head and arm choke or something like that. A Kimura or a head and arm choke. I like that. A Kimura or a head and arm choke. But I'm gonna go Miktabek Oralbai by second round submission. Moving on to Neil Magny versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Neil Magny, we all know him, the male Angela Hill. Neil Magny, he's 31-62 or something, and he has lost to very, very good guys, but beat guys that are not quite there yet, if that makes sense. Like Mike Mallet, Jake Matthews, Jake Matthews and Mike Mallet. I can't really think of any others, but he's lost to guys like Prates and Morales and Yaroslav Imosov and Ian Gary and Shavkat and those guys, but then beats the guys that aren't ready yet, if that makes sense. And Ramiz Brahimaj, I don't understand why he's fighting Neil Magny considering he just lost to Punahele Soriano by the grappling. So I'm going to go with Neil Magny by a smooth 29-28, loses the first round, wins the next 2 decision. Neil Magny, he's just going to hold him up against the fence as long as he doesn't shoot low on Ramiz Brahimaj, because Ramiz Brahimaj has a very good front headlock game. And he's pretty powerful, but he's not like Prates or Morales powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to put Neil Magny out like those guys would. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. That's how it's going to go. Neil Magny by decision. Moving on to Lucas Fernando versus Rafael Tobias. Lucas Fernando is not 0-1, by the way. Lucas Fernando he's a big guy. He's also bigger than 6'3". He's not a middleweight. There's multi-million-dollar company. Or is it billion? I think it's billion. Multi-billion-dollar company. I don't know. I thought it was 7.7 billion. But anyways, Rafael Tobias lost his last fight to Wait, Rafael Tobias. Is that new? I don't know. I'm picking Lucas Fernando by not by decision. He's new, he's fresh, he's big, but he's going to beat up on Rafael Tobias. He's not that good. Good record, but he's not that good. Anyways, moving on. That's a bad look on me. Vicente Luque versus Trayshawn Gore. Vicente Luque, former headliner versus 7-4 Trayshawn Gore, who just beat Azamat Bekaev by submission, which is a pretty good win considering Azamat Bekaev's run before he lost to Yusri Belgarui. But Vicente Luque, he's also coming off of a good win against, I don't want to say a good win, but like an unexpected win against Kelvin Gastelum. I thought they were sending Luque up to fight KG to get like beat up on, right? But Vicente Luque hurt KG bad, which is not done that often. Joe Pyfer hurt him. Izzy hurt him once or twice in their fight, but like he's not known for getting hurt bad. And Luque dropped him and put him in a Darce choke. That was good. I am gonna go Trayshawn Gore though by finish. I don't know what kind of finish because it's either a submission or a knockout. I'm so. Ugh. I think it's going to be a submission because Trayshawn Gore has that front headlock game, and I think he's going to hurt Luque, and Luque's going to shoot a sloppy takedown and get put in like a guillotine, anaconda choke, ninja choke, something like that, right? That I just think Trayshawn Gore is very good at. He also has a good front headlock game. Also, Luque does as well, but Trayshawn Gore isn't going to shoot a takedown on Luque, if that makes sense. Trayshawn Gore is going to beat him up on the feet and then hurt him bad with the right hand, straight right, or like a, I don't know, like a left hand coming out of an exchange. But I'm going to go with Trayshawn Gore by submission round 2 or 3. Moving on to Dante Johnson versus Eric Mechanico. Eric Mechanico is like the middleweight Neil Magny, except he doesn't beat anyone good. He just loses. Eric Mechanico versus Dante Johnson. Dante Johnson had a split decision with Cody Brundage, which is the same as Eric Mechanico, which is a little concerning, a smidge, tad bit. But I'm gonna go with. Okay, see, Dante Johnson should not be a minus 245 favorite. Maybe a minus 190 or something. But I'm going to go with Eric Mechanico by a crafty decision, you know. Eric Mechanico is the type of guy to put up a good beating on someone that almost is losing to Cody Brundage, right? Dante Johnson, he's cutting down big weight. He's 5'8", used to fight at heavyweight, so he's super big. But he was super big. Now he lost all that weight because he's not very tall. But I am going to have to go Eric Mechanico because Eric Mechanico, he has that crafty, hold him up against the fence and box him up, old man box him up at range. And I just don't think Dante Johnson, after that first round, I don't think he's got anything. I think it's going to be a nice crafty 29-28 split decision for Eric Mechanico with the boxing. Moving on to the not the headliner of the prelims, the co-main event of the prelims, Jalen Turner versus Kaue Fernandez. Jalen Turner, we all know him. He used to be like number 9 in the rankings, and then he lost all these guys like Moicano and Hooker and Gamrod and all those guys like that. And then he lost to Ignacio Bahamondes in early 2025 and then retired, but came back that same year. And I think it was like 4 months later at UFC 319 against Edson Barbosa. Is that right? That sounds right. Yeah, because that was the Chimaev DDP card. Yeah. Then he knocks out Edson Barbosa. or TKOs him or whatever. And now he's fighting Cowboy Fernandez, who is not 5'9", by the way. Not 5'9". They are both like around 6'3". Cowboy Fernandez might be like 6'2", but I am going to go with, this is a close fight. I think I am going to go with Jalen Turner by like first round KO because he's got the length. He's a little longer and bigger than Cowboy Fernandez. And Cowboy Fernandez is going to be very green coming into this fight. His last fight was against Harry Hardwick. Was that the last fight? I think that was his last fight against Harry Hardwick where he leg kicked TKO'd him, which is not going to happen to Jalen Turner because Harry Hardwick came in a weight class up and a week notice, and like it just wasn't a good look for Harry Hardwick. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Jalen Turner. Gonna put like that straight left down, put him down hard, and hopefully not walk away like he did in the Moicano fight, and just take out Cowboy Fernandez. Jalen Turner, round 1 KO. Moving on to Chidi Njokuani versus Yoel Alvarez. Chidi Njokuani, he's a vet, crafty, kind of old, lost his last fight to Carlos Leal, close fight, but gave it up in that third round. Versus Joel Alvarez, who's 23-4. He's also lost his last fight to Yaroslav Amosov at UFC 325? No way. What was UFC? It was UFC 328, the Chimaev Strickland card. But yeah, so this is probably Yoel Alvarez's first opponent that is bigger than him and longer than him, which I think is going to be a problem for him because he's not a very active guy. This is very out of the ordinary for him to take this fight on short notice and like pick up this fight. Like not Chidi Njokuani is not the replacement. Yoel Alvarez is, which is very out of the ordinary for Yoel Alvarez. And I think that's going to bite him in the butt. I think he's going to be cutting and he's not going to be training. He's not been training properly. He's not been in a fight camp. And I think that's a bad look for him. And I think Chidi Njokuani, who is a more technical, more Muay Thai striker than Yoel Alvarez, is just going to put those front kicks to the body, those knees. He's going to move around on the back foot. And he's going to be putting up those teeps. He's going to be putting up those straight punches, that jab. He's kind of like a powerful, more Muay Thai-esque Sean Strickland. If that makes that doesn't make sense. But anyways, Chidi Njokuani, I'm gonna go with him by decision. I think Joel Alvarez, welterweight, it took away a lot of his power. I think he's a very aggressive guy. Like he's kind of a blockhead where he just like walks forward and swings and does jump knees and stuff like that. And I think Chidi Njokuani could get caught by that jump knee, which is a bit of a concern, but I don't think it's enough of a concern that I'm going to pick Yoel Alvarez off of flukeness. But I am going to go Chidi Njokuani by decision. A little bit of an underdog pick. Low confidence in that pick, but I do think Chidi Njokuani will win. Cool, calm, 29-28 decision. Moving on to the main card opener in the Big 2-6, Edson Barboza versus Esteban Ribovic. Edson Barboza, he's a crafty vet. We all know him. We all love him. Terry Edom wheel kick, everybody's favorite knockout. Versus Esteban Ribovic, who lost his last fight to Mateus Gamrot, who in that loss, I don't think is going to look good for him at all, like ever. Mateus Gamrot, he just lost. Before that, Gamrot lost to Charles Oliveira, and after that, he lost to Salkild, who he just fought last weekend. And Edson Barboza just lost to Jalen Turner, who's also on this card. But I am going to pick Esteban Ribovic by second round TKO up against the fence just because of the volume. Like Edson Barboza, he's going to look good. Like everyone doubts him. And then he has like one moment in the early parts of the first round. Then he's going to run out of gas. Then Esteban Ribovic is going to put it on him and he's going to get TKO'd up against the fence because he has so much scar tissue in his face. going to get opened. It's going to get bloody. It's going to look way worse than it is. And then Edson Barboza is going to get TKO'd up against the fence. It's too easy. I'm upset that they're still letting Edson Barboza fight. He's too old. He should be at featherweight. But that's besides the point. Moving on to what was for 4 weeks the featured fight. Mansur Abdulmalik versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Oh my days. I'm gonna save your time. Mansur Abdulmalik by decision. Don't take him by finish if you're gonna bet, because I just don't trust him enough. Dustin Stoltzfus is crafty enough to like get a takedown in there or anything of that sorts. Yeah, Mansur Abdulmalik by decision. He's not that good. He could barely beat Cody Brundage. He didn't even beat Cody Brundage. I'm pretty sure that was a DQ or a no contest or something. Then he lost to Yusri Belgarui. He's not that good. I'm not going to lie, guys. But Mansur Abdulmalik by decision. Moving on to, oh my goodness, I'm surprised that they have this updated. This was just changed like, I don't know, a couple hours ago. Charles Johnson versus Eduardo Chapolin. I apologize if I said that wrong. Eduardo Chapolin, I believe, just fought on the Contender Series, if I read that correctly. I'm going to go Charles Johnson by knockout. If you want my pick from before, I would have picked Charles Johnson by decision because he lost his last fight, so that means he has to win this one. So why are you looking at me like that, Charles? Why are you looking at me like that, Charles Johnson? Anyways, I'm going to pick Charles Johnson by knockout. Yeah, he's good. Not as good as he used to be. Not as good as he was when he had that fluke state. Like when he knocked out Joshua Vane and Loner Kavanaugh. And the Loner Kavanaugh knockout was not that long ago. That was like, I don't know, 8 months ago. No, it wasn't. 10 months ago. But like, yeah, man. No, it was. It was like a year ago. Okay. Still, Charles Johnson, he was knocked out and submitted for the first time in his UFC career this year. And it was just a bad look, you know. But I am gonna go at Charles Johnson. I don't know much about Eduardo Chapolin. I'm sorry. I didn't even know that was gonna be up here. I thought that was a rumor. But yeah, Charles Johnson, I'm gonna pick him by knockout in the second round, maybe third, with like a lead uppercut, like a right uppercut. Moving on to the first ranked card, the co-main event of the evening. I've met Mackenzie Dern, believe it or not. I met Mackenzie Dern. I met her at UFC Freedom 250. She's very nice. She is very small, or she's bigger than you would think. She's probably about 5'5". I don't think she's really 5'4", unless I'm just short. I mean, I am like 4'10", 350 pounds. So like, I mean, I guess we'll never know. But Mackenzie Dern, she is bigger. She's got very broad shoulders. She's got very big traps. She's a scary woman. I'm not going to lie. But Jillian Robertson looks like a skeleton in this picture. She's very hip. She smokes a lot of weed. But she's also very dominant on the ground. I did not know she was 17-8. Oh my days. 17-8? That's terrible. To be a challenger, a title challenger, you're 17-8 ranked number 5. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern by either ground and pound or submission in like round 2 or 3, because Jillian Robertson will shoot in on a takedown and then she won't be afraid to sit in Mackenzie's guard, which I think is dumb because she should. Mackenzie Dern has probably the best closed guard in the strawweight division. And I think Mackenzie Dern, she'll spaz out on her back. She'll throw up arm bars. She'll throw up triangles. She'll try to sweep you, just things like that. And I just think Mackenzie Dern is going to do a lot better than Jillian Robertson could on her back. And I think that's going to end with Jillian Robertson being like gassed from a scramble and then Mackenzie Dern just pouring it on. Maybe a club and sub. Maybe Mackenzie Dern throws that like switch stance overhand and knocks down or stuns Jillian Robertson and then takes her down and subs her. Maybe an arm bar. I see an arm bar here or like a rear naked choke. I see an arm bar more likely though for Mackenzie Dern. That's like kind of her bread and butter type deal. I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern by submission in 2 or 3 probably. And now the main event of the evening, Islam Makhachev, the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world versus Ian Machado Ferry. Ian Machado Ferry. And this is a tough fight to pick, man, because Ian Gary, he's about 6'2". He's not really 6'3". He's about 6'2". Still 5 inches taller. Or I'm sorry, 4 inches taller than Islam. But Islam, he obviously has the wrestling advantage. And then Ian has the striking advantage, in my opinion. Islam, okay, here we go. This is what I'm saying. Islam and Ian are closer. They're closer in the striking than they are in the grappling. They're this far apart in the grappling. This is bad. This is good. This is Islam. This is Ian. But this is Islam and Ian in striking. I'm sorry. This is Islam and Ian in the striking. Ian is right here at great. Islam's right here at good. You know what I'm saying? Islam is a very good counter striker. He waits until you mess up to either throw that overhand or throw a check hook or leg kick. He doesn't throw a lot of combinations, but Ian Machado doesn't necessarily either, unless you're backed up against the fence. But this is hard. This is a hard fight because I think if it goes to the ground after the first round, Ian's done. I think Ian could survive the first round, but I don't think he could survive the second. And Ian's just done for if he gets stuck on the ground with Islam. Like, I think the first round's going to tell us a lot because if Ian is just bouncing around on the outside and then he gets taken down and he is helpless on the ground for however long, say he gets taken down in the last 30 seconds and he is helpless in that last 30 seconds, I think it's wraps for him because if Islam gets him down and there's a minute left, a minute and a half, 4.5 minutes left, I think it's wraps for Ian. But say Islam can't get him down. Say Ian Machado Gary uses the fence well, defends the takedowns, shucks him off, starts like entering the clinch and then exiting with that knee or his eye pokes. My wife will be suing you in your DMs. My wife's boyfriend is going to DM you and sue you. But I am going to go with Islam Makhachev. Islam, I think he's the GOAT personally. If he wins this, he'll be the GOAT, 100% in my opinion. But I am going to go Islam Makhachev by decision or second or third round submission. Kind of similar to how I envision the finish in the co-main event. I think Islam could sting Ian Gary, and that could lead to Ian Gary getting worried and trying to run away, and then Islam gets on a single leg. I think Islam's single legs are probably the best takedown in UFC history. The most efficient, I should say. And like, I think if Islam gets on a single leg, it's done for Ian. He's going to get put down, dropped. Ian's going to try to get up, and Islam's going to jump on a Darce. It's fairly simple if that happens. But I think Ian is smarter than that, and he won't do that. But even if he gets put down, he's going to be stuck. I just think that's the way it is. But, yep, Islam by second or third round sub or decision. And boys and girls, if you're watching, thank you for watching so much. I appreciate you all. I'm sorry that I've been gone so long. I'm going to try to keep a more consistent schedule going, especially with all these announcements that we have, like Sacramento and 331. And I'm sure we're going to get an announcement for 332 soon. Maybe I'll drop a video on some early predictions for all the main events. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all so much. If you have any ideas, if you want to DM me, if you want to get in contact, please email me at johnconnor.cuff@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at johnconnormma, CONNOR. Thank you all for watching, and I can't wait until the next video. Peace out, guys.